I'm Shae Russell from mining.com.au, and I'm coming to you once again from the On Air at IMARC booth. Sitting next to me is a man who needs a little introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway. It is Dr. Mike Jones, the Managing Director for Impact Minerals. Mike, it's great to see you again. How are you?
It is indeed, Shae. Very good indeed. And this is a busy conference. It's been a great couple of days so far.
Yeah, certainly has, and it's only the morning. It's only 1.5 days for us. We've got a long day ahead, buddy. Look, busy conference, lots of interest. I know the Lake Hope High Purity Alumina Project is attracting a lot of interest right now, especially from the state government of Western Australia. You recently received, what was it, a $3 million grant from the state government?
A fraction under, and not to correct you in public too much, Shae, but it was the federal government. So just we're bigging it up, and go one up on that, one up on the state government. Let me tell you. So the Cooperative Research Centres projects is a bundle of funding that the government gives across a wide range of projects for innovation. And we were fortunate enough to get a $2.9 million grant towards our work at Lake Hope, and it's a three-way split. It's a collaborative project. That's the function of that particular bundle of funding, and it's between ourselves, Edith Cowan University has some world-leading technology in membrane selective extraction, which we'll talk about.
Okay.
And a company called CPC Engineering, who've been doing all the engineering studies on our proposed plant to produce 10,000 tonnes per annum of HPA, and they have particular skills in HPA in that company. So it's a three-way project, and that money will be very well spent over the next 12-24 months.
So here is not where I expected the conversation to go, but we're going to do it anyway. Selective membrane technology, how does that relate to high purity alumina? What is the connection?
Yeah, that's it. So as we got into the HPA journey, one of the things that we discovered that perhaps other HPA wannabes had found was that the process does require quite a lot of acid in there. And if you're using fresh acid all the time, then it's basically too expensive. Mm-hmm. So it becomes very much a story of regenerating the acid after you've used it, recirculating it, and then thus keeping the costs down. So in our design work, we've actually kind of solved that problem already for technical reasons I won't go into this stage. But as part of that process, we realised, or CPC Engineering realised, that Edith Cowan has this technology, membrane technology, which basically is just as it sounds, it's a membrane. You push fluid through it, and then depending on the composition and the size of the membrane, you can remove certain elements. Therefore, you can clean up your acid, your reagents, reuse them in a lot more effective manner. And it also has a lot of use in wastewater treatment. So the wastewater that comes out, can also be treated to remove any sort of impurities, et cetera, et cetera. So Edith Cowan, under Amir Ramazjou, he is one of the world's experts in this membrane technology. They've already got patents for lithium, rubidium, and looking to get one for aluminium, which would be fantastic.
I have to, again, slight deviation from where the conversation's going today, but receiving this grant is obviously some critical recognition from the federal government of the importance of high purity alumina, because it probably wasn't on the government's radar even less than 12 months ago.
No, that's right. And they've, obviously critical minerals, it's a big part of the federal government, both the previous one and definitely under the Albanese government. They've definitely been, out there promoting it. And obviously we've seen the success of Alpha HPA in this space, receiving significant quantities of low interest loans, from the federal government. And that's just an example of the kind of support that they're giving. So, but it was a great opportunity last week. Met Minister Husick. He came over, and the Minister for Science and Technology, never missed a photo opportunity.
Never.
So we met him at ECU, and there was a media there and all the rest of it. So it was a good day. Yeah.
It is, and it's also a much deserved day. You've been working on HPA, the Lake Hope project, for a very long time now. So it's great to see getting some recognition. Yeah. And obviously too, you're a man in demand as well. Even just trying to get you on camera today, I had to wait for a cancellation.
That's it.
So let's get back on track. Speaking of on track, let's talk about your PFS. I believe it is due first quarter next year.
It is. So we were hoping to finish by the end of this year, but we're actually waiting on contractors, consultants to actually provide quotes, etc. And we're putting the feasibility study report together. Now, it's important that we get this right, do the report properly, because that's what's going to trigger Impact earning 80% of the project. Yep. So the completion of the PFS, we've got 3 months after that to make the decision to go forward with the project. I mean, so far so good. I mean, normally if there's a slight delay in the PFS, people think, oh, there's something gone wrong. Nothing's gone wrong. It's just there's a lot of work still going on out there in this industry, and just getting people to quote is it takes time to give us those numbers. So a fantastic outcome. The people who are doing a great job, CPC Engineering that I mentioned, in particular, a lady there called Eugenia Fegan. She's done some great work in the HPA space, was responsible for helping get this grant together. They've actually provided their stuff basically on time and on budget. So that's the big one that we're waiting for. Should come in the next few weeks. So, and that'll give us CapEx and OpEx for the plant, and then we'll build on that. So.
Full steam ahead. Love it. Now that Lake Hope is really, it's as up and running as it can be, you've actually got time to start looking at the other projects in your portfolio. Tell me, what are you planning on driving forward next with Lake Hope almost self-sufficient and driving itself? What's next on your radar in your portfolio?
Yeah. So with the grant from Lake Hope, it's probably only going to cost us, probably no more than $5 million extra to actually get to the end of the DFS.
Oh wow!
So if you compare that to say a De Grey, hundreds of millions of dollars in drilling and another tens and tens of millions of dollars to do all the environmental work, et cetera, to get to their feasibility study level. The Lake Hope project is so small and so unique. It doesn't cost a lot of money. So we are in a position that we can spend money on our other projects. They have been quiet for a little while. So we've got three things going on there. So at the moment, we're preparing for a drill program at our Arkin project in Western Australia. We received exploration incentive funding, 180 grand early this year, to drill a copper target in the middle of Western Australia's wheat belt.
Ooh.
So that's coming up also in the first quarter next year. The other big news is that we have now lodged the prospectus for a spin out of our Lachlan Fold Belt.
Ooh.
Gold, silver, copper assets.
Yes.
That's been a long time in gestation. Some of the longer term shareholders remember we drilled that back in 2018, some really good gold and silver values. And we're hopeful that this market's going to be good enough to get it out. Obviously, the IPO market in general has been pretty bad. So that prospectus is sitting with ASIC at the moment. Should come out next week, and then we should be all systems go. And Impact shareholders have a priority entitlement of $2 million in that, and so we'll be mailing that out to all of the shareholders going forward. So second cab off the rank. There we go. And then finally, Broken Hill.
Yes.
So we were on the BHP Explore program last year. There's been some exciting developments in Broken Hill. It's been a tired, almost dying mining town. And
yes.
All credit to a gentleman called Patrick Walter, Coolabah Metals, about to change the name to Broken Hill Mines. It's come in, it's bought the Rast mine in the centre of town. It's been able to stitch on the Pinnacles deposit, which has been held privately for many years. That's going to revitalise the whole of that city. It's an amazing outcome for Broken Hill. We love Broken Hill, been there lots of times. And what people don't realise is that we're actually the largest ground holder in Broken Hill. We almost completely surround the mine. We've been building a ground position there for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And we're hopeful that we can now capitalise on that with renewed interest in one of the world's greatest mining cities. So
I have a soft spot for Broken Hill. It's mostly because I have an unnatural love for lead and zinc, and I know Broken Hill's full of it. Nobody else does. But I'm really excited to see the Broken Hill have some new life breathed into it. I think that could be really exciting. But it sounds like there's an awful lot happening across Impact. Well deserved, as well. There's a lot of work happening in the background. And just to reiterate on something you talked about before, just because you don't hear news doesn't mean things aren't happening. It takes a lot of time to move these pieces into place to get them to the announcement point of view to say we have progress. There's movement at the station. Word has finally passed around. I managed to get some Banjo Patterson in there for my mum. She'll be proud of me. Listen, mate, this has been a great chat. Love the progress seeing at Lake Hope, and sounds like there's some really exciting things also coming into next year. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks very much, Shae. Look forward to seeing you next time.